Hi, boys and girls. So today, you're going to be doing Treasure Hunt as you're going to be finishing the story Treasure Hunt for your apply or your graded task for today. This story is a little more involved than the ones we've been practicing with because you definitely should have a little bit more of a handle on how to fill out your organizer on a scrap piece of paper and how to fill it out knowing that you have to finish the story with that climax and resolution. If you don't know how to do that, then you have skipped over some videos because I've been very explicit with those instructions. So make sure you go back and watch any of those instructional videos. If you are listening to this and you're not in Mrs. Smith's virtual class, then first of all, hello, and second of all, if you've missed out on what kind of organizer to use, then please make sure you contact your teacher and let them know. So for today's purposes, I just wanted to go over basically real quick how to use the checklist, which is a slide on this assignment, to help you as a quick jot or as a quick reference guide. You also have your student-friendly narrative rubric, which you were given on the first day or first lesson of narrative writing, and you can use that as well to help you out. But that one's a little bit more involved. And the one I'm going to show you right here is very simple. And the nice thing about this is the one that you're going to be getting on the map test at the end of the school year. So it's definitely one that you need to get used to if you're being asked to write a narrative. So I just want to go over this with you. So it's a writer's checklist. So you definitely want to make sure your narrative has an effective beginning, middle, and end. So if you don't have an ending, that's a problem. If you don't have a middle, that's a big problem. And a beginning, it just makes it very confusing when you start your story in the middle of like a climax or the most exciting event. Your narrative should flow smoothly from one idea to another. So that means like somebody's not saying like, hey, what are you doing over there? And then your story goes to you being in your house. You need to make sure that it has a logical sequence, that your characters like dialogue and things like that all make sense. My narrative develops plot, characters, and setting. That's the thing we've been working so hard on, honestly, over the last few days. So, it really coordinates well with reading as well. While we've been working on breaking characters and their changes down and talking about how events in the story help with that change. So it's the same for writing. Your characters should be going through some type of change, whether it's them, overcoming a conflict or a problem, or it's just them, going from feeling down and then to happy or happy to down. Either way, but definitely needs to have that plot, which is just beginning, middle, and end. Climax, all those parts of the story elements. My narrative includes specific and relevant details, reasons, or examples. My narrative uses precise and vivid language. That's kind of just a technical term for saying make sure you're not just saying, let's see, the tea kettle was hot. The tea kettle was as hot as a fireplace, or it was steaming and it seemed like it was as hot as this. I'm trying to think of even a figurative language right now. So but you get the gist. So use words that are more descriptive, making sure that your reader knows exactly what's happening, knows exactly where they're at, your character's at, knows exactly how your character's feeling. So that's what that one means. My narrative contains sentences that are clear and varied in structure. That means don't rewrite the same sentence like one time, blah blah blah, one time, blah blah blah, or then. A lot of people use then at the beginning of their sentences. Make sure you have a variety of language in your sentence structures. My narrative includes correct grammar. I would say this is the one right here that most of you are having trouble with. All the other things you're doing pretty well with, but this is terrible. I am getting narratives after narratives with absolutely no punctuation, absolutely no capitalization. Spelling is awful. That's very silly. You need to read back over your writing. You need to go back and look and see, where does my thought start and stop? Where do I need a period? Where do I need a capital letter? Where do I need a question mark? Where do I need quotation marks for when a character's speaking? Those are all things that I've given you the tools to know and learn. And I know teachers before me have done that as well. So stop just writing an entire story or paragraph with absolutely no punctuation. That is inexcusable. And then the last thing, my narrative uses material from the source. That's huge, guys. You got to make sure that you're using the source. So if you're being asked to finish this story and there's a character named Susie, the character named Susie better be in your rest of your story. If there's a character named Danny, he better be in the rest of your story. If the characters are looking for treasure, the rest of the story needs to be tying up the loose ends of them looking for this treasure. So don't go off base and write about something completely different when you're being asked to finish the story using the source. This is the source. A source is where you get your information from. Okay, so that kind of wraps it up. I know that seemed a little intense for a second, but I just want to be super clear that this checklist is really important and it's very easy to do a good job with this as long as you take your time, follow directions, make your organizer, then draft your story, and you'll be just fine. All right. Thank you guys. And